So what did you think when you first went to read for it?
Well, that was the same thing. Like, I got the script, and I'm like, okay, Carrie Diaries, all right. And I started reading it, and immediately, from the very beginning, I was just drawn to the script.
Yeah.
Just because there was, and I'm sure maybe this is the reason why you liked it too. There's so much heart to it. It was grounded, and it wasn't, sensationalized or glamorized in any way. It was just taking real coming of age issues that we deal with. There was a nostalgia to it, and it was touching on these subjects in a very respectful way. It validated all of these issues and talked about them in a graceful way. I would say. And
it stands on its own. It doesn't rely. I mean, it's nice to have that Sex and the City connection.
Yes, for sure.
You can't undervalue that. But it stands on its own, absolutely, and for those very reasons that you point out.
Yeah, and it's set in the 80s, so it's
so there's
fun.
that.
There's that other element to it, which is great, and it was an era that really allowed a lot of risk-taking.
Yeah. Not that you would know anything about that, because you were a zygote.
I'm learning a lot about that time with the show, too, so...
Yeah. What's it like wearing those clothes? 80s, not the best fashion era.
No, I mean, I think having the 80s be part of it is almost a character on its own. The 80s is trying to figure itself out, too. So, along with the characters. So, I mean, but it's a lot of fun wearing these outfits. And, I mean, with my character, she's not as eccentric with her outfits. She's a bit more practical, which actually coincides with her pragmatism. And so you see that in her sort of like closed cardigans and nice shirts, and there's a conservativeness to it, but still nice. And I think it's nice to bring that back in style, the conservative and very reserved kind of look.
Yeah. Discuss the character, because people won't have seen the show at this point, so tell us who she is.
I play Mouse, Jill Chen. She is Carrie's loyal, supportive best friend, and she's extremely practical. She thinks she has her life all figured out. She's learning along the way that you can't really figure life out.
Yeah.
But luckily, she also has her great friends there, Maggie, Wald, and also Carrie, of course, and they talk about everything, anything and everything, and it's really nice to see a group of young people sit down and talk about everything and not just live their lives driven in action form, making choices that they're going to regret soon enough. But it's about talking about it, and there are regrets that come with the choices that they make sometimes, but they are also reflective and intelligent about it. Yeah.
If you had to, and it's probably a stupid question, but if you had to equate Mouse with one of the later four Sex and the City pals, which one do you think she's?
I don't think that's a stupid question.
Okay.
I've been asked it a lot. No, I think it's a very good question. There are definitely, we definitely have the same creators on the show, and there are a lot of similarities with Carrie Diaries and Sex and the City. But what I like about the two shows, though, is that we don't have, I guess, the stereotypical archetype in our show. Like, the characters aren't their absolute selves, like they all are, you can identify with them all at various points throughout the show, and they're all relatable. But if I had to choose somebody that my character relates to the most, I would say definitely some Miranda, just because she's got her life figured out. The pragmatism is there, and she knows what she wants, and she knows how she's going to go about getting those things. But she also is not as A-type as Miranda, I don't think. Like, she's able to let loose and have fun. She's but in an intelligent way, and she's also sweet and innocent in a way like Charlotte, and she's looking for that committed love in her life too. So yeah,
and she's not a slut like Samantha.
She's not a slut, but I mean, Samantha had her own things that she was dealing with, and she was, the thing that's great though is that each of the characters are confident. They're confident with who they are, regardless of what your opinions were of them. That you could think whatever you want about any one of those characters, they were still going to stick to who they were. And that's what I really liked about Sex and the City, and I think that that's also in the Carrie Diaries, which is also refreshing and great to see for a younger demographic.
Yeah. You've thought about this.
I have thought about this. I mean, I really wouldn't want to be as excited about. I wouldn't be as excited about this show if I, hadn't thought about it. And I like to take the time to think about the things that I'm working on, because I enjoy acting, not just for the acting part of it, but to be able to tell a story that means something. And this means a lot to me. And to be able to play a character, especially that, for me, I'm seeing it as an opportunity to play a girl that I never got to see growing up. Grace the screens, and I'd love to be able to explore different things too. And for me, it's a very rewarding to be able to learn more as I work. Yeah.
And she again, as you discussed it, she's a very multifaceted character. I mean, she's not just the Asian girl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is what I love. I mean, there is that a bit of it is a stereotype. I mean, let's face it, stereotypes exist for a reason, right? I mean, there are running themes within certain different cultures, but so she definitely has the pressures from her parents.
Sure.
Her Chinese parents were immigrants, and they work very hard to give her the opportunities that she has in school to be able to go after what she wants and for her dreams. So there's that element of pressure in her home life, which exists. But I think that, and that's what I wanted to also bring to light in this show, because she has a different world at home. She goes home and she's got a Chinese family, and that's different than the Western world that she resides in when she goes to school and when she's hanging out within her friends. So she's dealing with finding that sense of self in her own way too.
And that's not an exclusive experience. I mean, that's something that the whole audience is going to be able to relate to.
Yeah, lots of people will be relate to. I think whether you are a visible minority or not, though, because everyone has a different life at home, and it's bringing that to light too. It's not that we're not all the same, and we all come from unique families, and it's about also seeing the significance in how we were raised and the people that we live with that shape who we are too at home, not just the people that we go to school with. You know? So.
Now, I want to talk about some of your earlier roles, because it's like two of my favorite things. First of all, how interesting. Your character now is named Mouse, and of course, in Scott Pilgrim, she was Knives.
I never get a real name.
I know. Now, how much fun was Scott Pilgrim?
At least now I'm like an actual living thing, and I'm not just like a utensil.
That's a step up.
Or like a kitchen appliance, or not appliance, or a utensil. So
now, it looked like you were having just a ball doing Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you got to kick ass. So talk a little bit about that experience doing that film.
Working on Scott Pilgrim, I mean, that was the door for me that opened up into the film and TV world. It was, for me, a validation as to what I really love to do, and it made me see more and more that this is what I want to stick to and what I want to continue to do is to tell stories. And working on Scott Pilgrim, I feel just immensely, and tremendously lucky to have had that be my real first experience on a set, because Edgar Wright was amazing, and we worked a lot prior to shooting to work on our character and on the character, and also just working with the entire cast. I'm sure like you love the film, and you said it looked like it was a ton of fun, and it was, and that comes across on screen because we really were having fun, and so I feel lucky that I've been able to work on projects where everyone just gets along and really enjoys being in each other's company, like in the Carrie Diaries. Really, we do have a lot of fun on set.